Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Dizer. I'm here with my Daily Health Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Lane. Good morning.
Good morning.
Today we're doing part 2 of our plateaus episode. Last time we talked about physical plateaus. Today we're talking about the mental, emotional plateaus that can halt your weight loss efforts. They can block this holistic weight loss approach that we're talking about. Because you can do all the physical things, and you can make sure that you're extremely healthy in terms of hormone balance, and you're extremely healthy with digestion, and you're doing all your fitness and your diet, and you're following all these things. But then what about when things in life change? What about when old patterns start to return? I mean, the mental emotional plateaus are probably more common.
Yeah, I think that they're the most common, and then we try to blame it on physical things. I think we seek blame, and then we say things like, I need new workouts, I need a stricter diet, I need whatever, and really it's not true. It's more of you have to get right in your head. Right. It's what it is, honestly.
Definitely, I can see some deflecting that might potentially happen here.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest ones, the first one that I see that comes up is, I want results now. And I say it in that voice because if you can just visualize how childish it is to pound your fist and tell nature to hurry up, then you can laugh at yourself and then you can move forward. And I was the queen of this because, it took me my whole life to accumulate the body that I had. Yet I wanted to work really hard for a week and have abs.
Right.
But why can't I do that? I tried really hard.
Yeah.
It's just so... And then, I had to laugh at myself. I had to get embarrassed. I had to really go there. This is foolish behavior. It is juvenile behavior. What are you doing? You're more intelligent than that. You're an intelligent, powerful woman. You know that you can't just get what you want in 2 seconds because you decided you want to and you worked hard and you're tired.
Oh, I feel the same way. You should see me when I do push-ups.
Right.
Do some push-ups. You feel swole.
Yeah. You
feel good. And then, with push-ups, it's an hour later. Yeah. You're back to where you were.
Yeah.
So, it's not instant. And yeah, this surrendering is what you're talking about, right? this...
And being honest with yourself. And being... a grown adult woman and not walking around like the world owes you something and you're a victim of everything. You're not a victim of anything, and you're a powerful, strong woman, and you can create whatever you want in your life. But the reality is anything that's worth it takes time, it takes consistency, and it takes commitment and continual commitment. It doesn't just magically happen. Anything that's worth it. And we go around and we seek out these stories that, well, she always had abs. She always had that body. Well, good for her. Life is not fair. That's one thing that everyone should learn. Life isn't fair. It's just, in the end, but it's not fair. Different people are born with different great things. And some people can eat cheeseburgers every single day and still have abs, and God bless them.
This is true.
That's their thing that they have. But if that makes you feel sorry for yourself, that's on you. So the first thing that I see is you have to understand that real results, especially real results that last, takes time. And you have to surrender. You put the idea of what you want to accomplish out there. Then you just let it float. And you work your butt off, and you do what it takes, and you just say, I'm going to do this until I get the results I want. Now, for myself, after doing the first 12 weeks of the bikini body, I was down 29 pounds, felt great, felt lean, felt wonderful, and I could have stopped there. But there's still things I wanted to refine. I still wanted different, longer muscles. I wanted, still my waist to come in. Like, I wanted a rounder, bigger butt. Like, I still wanted different things. And, I just put that out there, and then I just consistently worked at it. And the truth of the matter is 8 years into transforming my life was the best my body ever was.
Yeah, wow. And someone would say, oh, that's such a long time.
Yeah, and the whole time I'm working up to that. So it's I put that out there, but I, always had this optimal feeling, and I always believed that it can only get better, and it can only, so I was happy after 12 weeks. I could have just stopped there, and I could have just stayed there if I wanted to. But I think life is progressive, and I think that our hopes and dreams and attitudes shift. I mean, also along my journey, I've had times where I've wanted to be rounder. I've tried that out. There's times I've wanted to have more muscle mass. I've tested that out. There's times where I want to be leaner. I've tested that out. I test these things out. I mean, because life is fluid, and I like to try things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this whole conversation is just part of this holistic weight loss conversation that we've been having. I am obsessed with lifestyle change that's sustainable long term. Like,
and can evolve. Like, that's the other thing. You can shift your ideas of what is good, like what you want. But if you're shifting it from week to week or month to month, you're never going to get anywhere. And where you get, like, it's just never going to work. You have to surrender to, 3 months, 6 months, a year, just doing things the right way. Stop cutting corners, stop lying to yourself, and then see where you can get yourself.
But what I'm seeing with my patients is that once you get to that 6 months or even less, is that because it becomes so much a lifestyle, because it becomes ingrained in your life, this is who you are now. It feels like, oh, I'm not even trying to lose weight. And look at me, I'm losing weight.
Right.
And this is the goal, I think.
Yes. I mean, it's not about, life isn't about, continual striving. That's not what I'm trying to... Like, I wasn't striving for 8 years. Really, I strived for, 6 months. Because I had to turn the ship around. I had to drastically change my mindset, what I actually did.
And create habits, too.
I had to create habits. I had to take things out of my house. I had to rearrange who I was as a person. And I had to be in it completely for 6 months to a year. And... then I could loosen up a bit. As in it's not the center of my universe. It's not like I'm thinking about it for 8 years. I don't even think about it. I think about now, which I encourage everyone, as fast as you can get to this place, the better your results will be in all areas of life, is I'm just looking to be healthy.
Yeah.
And everything else I trust will be for the highest good. I believe that if I feel amazing, that if I feel vibrant, if I feel healthy, if I feel glowy, if I feel like, I'm sexy, I'm, all that good stuff, like health. If I feel like I'm always making choices around that, then the highest good in all areas of my life, including my physical body, are happening. And it's the truth. Anytime I make a choice out of, well, what will make me feel amazing, it just works.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I love it.
Getting there.
I mean, just getting in tune.
Yes.
Is so important. What makes you feel good? And this is this whole lifestyle conversation.
And letting and allowing, your goals to shift a little bit. Because we think we're the smartest beings and we know what is our optimal good. And the reality is that nature, life force, whatever, is always seeking the highest good. And it's more intelligent than we'll ever be. And if you can relax a little into that and let life, happen with your goals, the highest good will come. And the reason I say that is because, I used to set myself on a goal and then I used to fight for it. Like a pit bull.
Yes.
I'd get it in my mouth and I put my blinders on and no one could tell me I wouldn't have it. And the reality is that, I'm not the same person I was 8 years ago. And some of those goals would actually cause me embarrassment today. They've shifted. What I wanted then, even like as simple as physical. I wanted to have way more muscle than what I have now. And I did it. And then when I got there, I was uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I didn't like how I had to eat. I didn't like how I physically looked in clothes. It was weird. It wasn't me. It was hard to maintain. I was slower. I was tired. It wasn't right for me. But I thought it was, because this is what I saw and this is what I wanted to embody. So I had to say, okay, maybe this isn't my highest good. Maybe this isn't my thing. So I had to let that go a little. Right?
Yes.
So, and focus more on the highest good.
Oh, I think this highest good is something to keep at top of mind. I mean, I have a lot of people who come to me who have been through HCG diet or have done these dramatic weight loss. And their goal is, okay, now I'm in this situation where I'd like to lose 5 pounds a week.
It's a nightmare.
And I said, okay, 5 pounds a week is a lot. It's not sustainable. It's impossible to keep off if you're ever able to even achieve it naturally.
If you're quite heavy, then you can. But it's so... I mean, I get them on the other end. I get them on I'm done the HCG, and I've been off it a week, and I'm up 15 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
What do I do now? I'm not binging. I'm just eating normal.
So the goals have to change. Like, it has to be fluid. And this is part... Like, the conversation today is the mental emotional plateaus.
Right.
And the point of this is that sometimes they're created by us.
No, they're always created by us.
In this situation, you can see with goal setting, plateaus are created in our own minds.
So the next one I would go over is motivation. This elusive dragon that people idolize.
Yeah.
People, toss out, you're so motivated. You're so lucky you're so motivated. A, there's no such thing as luck. B, motivation is not motivation maybe 1% of the time strikes and then fuels people into action, like a lightning thing. Mm-hmm. But the reality of motivation is, it is a stoked fire.
Yeah, it's cultivated from within.
It's cultivated and it's continually stoked. It is not something that's just given and then you are. It's the same concept of people think like you find true love and then it just is and then just you have it. Like, no, these things have to be continually stoked. Motivation, you can have a moment where you're really motivated. I can think of a couple times in my life where I just had that aha moment. Oh my gosh, I'm going to push forward, and then I go running out the door.
Yes.
It lasts about a week.
Right.
So what it is when you get those, you set yourself up for success, and then you continually do whatever it takes to fuel motivation. So that motivation is then just your baseline. That's true for anybody that's ever been an entrepreneur. You constantly have to self-motivate, but it's a daily thing.
It is.
It's not like a thing you just have.
And when you get on a healthy lifestyle, when you're doing certain things that make you feel good, it's a little easier because you're having this positive feedback. And then you get into the zone.
Right. Motivation... Here's the tricky thing about life. When things are dark, and when things are heavy, and when you don't feel any motivation, and you don't feel like going out and working out, and you don't feel like preparing that healthy meal, and you don't feel like acting positive, if in that day, and if in that moment, you get out in front of yourself, and you just do it anyway, that's when you win.
Yes.
That's when you're a winner. That's when your life breaks open. And if you can just push yourself, like in those dark times, if you create light and you remember that the sky is always blue, even though there's clouds. Right now, we have a completely gray sky. But if we could penetrate up through those clouds, if we could get up in an airplane right now, the sun is always shining and the sky is always blue. If you can remember that in your life, and just take the steps to shift your own life around, no matter what the circumstances around you are, that's when you win. That's when things change. That's when you get that motivation that you can't shake it off. That's when good things start to happen to you that chase you down.
Oh, definitely.
That's when you win.
That is when you win. That's a good point. This mindset is super important. I mean, and what are the things that you do to set yourself up for success? Like you're saying, this is self-motivation. I notice this is very important to you. We don't keep treats in the home.
No, I look at being a compulsive or a binge eater, whatever you want to call it, in my past. I look at it the same way as someone would with alcoholism. And it's always in the background somewhere. Mm-hmm. Even though I don't participate in the behavior now, I understand that I have to keep up firm boundaries. Definitely. That's just my deck of cards.
Too. If we had cookies in the cupboard, they would not last.
Well, you'd be normal and have 2 after supper every night, and you'd be fine.
Yes, but I shouldn't be doing that.
Right. But the thing with me is I would, quote, have a bad day and be like, to heck with everything, and sit down and eat them till I was sick.
Yeah. And this is all about setting yourself up for success, because...
And people feel like, but I want to have I want to have the cookies in my house. I have nephews or whatever, mm-hmm. or my husband likes cookies. I don't care what your situation is. If you humbly tell someone, I'm trying to better my life, if you come to your partner and say, look, I'm betraying some unhealthy habits here. It's actually hurting who I am. I don't feel optimized. In saying that, then I can't be optimized with you. I can't be my highest self that would only benefit you. Can you please help me help myself by just taking these crap foods out of the house for a while or forever, whatever's got to be done.
Yeah, exactly.
And if your partner says, no, I need cookies over your health and well-being, then I'm sorry, you should reevaluate your relationship. If cookies or pizza mean more to your man than you being the goddess that you were born to be, I just am sorry.
No, I totally agree.
It's crazy. It's not even a conversation.
No, it's not.
The one thing I do respect is that it's hard to have that conversation. It's hard to take our barriers down and be like, I'm an imperfect person that's out of control of some of my impulses. Mm-hmm. It sucks. But that's the other thing. If you go into that darkness and you pour that light on, and the light is honesty, your relationship will transform and it will only get better. None of us are perfect. All of us have our stuff. And I firmly believe that, we pair off in these 2x2 relationships to help each other be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. So, use it. Mm-hmm. It's a partnership. It's an optimal, optimize your life. Let's be awesome. Let's be the most David, the most Amy. Let's help each other get there.
Yeah, and we've gotten to a place where we do pretty well at this, because I don't know if it's our personalities complement each other in this sense, but it's important to have this communication early on.
Yeah, and but it wasn't easy.
No, we had I'm sort of a type A obsessive kind of guy. Mm-hmm. And we had to have multiple discussions early on in our relationship about how that can negatively affect you.
Well, it triggers my anxieties.
Absolutely. Which can lead to what we're getting at here, which is mental, emotional plateaus because of stress.
Right.
And just this communication is really important. And it's not that big of a deal. And it is pretty easy to get on the same page if you have any sort of compassion for the other person.
Which you should if you're in a romantic relationship with them.
You would hope. And anyhow, the most important thing is that there's some sort of support system in place.
And you create it.
Yeah. it just doesn't happen. That's true.
No, we created it. And there was no mold for us of what we wanted as a relationship. We created it. And when things weren't working, we shifted. Yeah. We changed. And we're constantly evolving. And we're constantly checking in. And it's all good. Mm-hmm. But, so that was my roundabout way about talking about motivation. It's just like brushing your teeth. What's the point of brushing my teeth? I just have to brush them again in an hour or two. Well, you do it because that's what you do to be optimally healthy. To
exactly, it's the same thing with your mind. Oh my gosh,
motivation's like showering. Yeah. It's all the same. It needs to be daily renewed. You need to get out in front of it. Sometimes you don't feel like it, but you gotta do it anyway. And when you do it anyway, that's when great things happen. So
what else do you have on your list?
Well, the next one I hear a lot is social pressure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So for summer, people will be like, I like going to the patios and drinking and eating, and it's part of my social, and I feel like I have to be isolated because I'm not doing those behaviors.
Yeah, and then you're in the middle of a journey, and all summer you stay at the same weight.
Mm-hmm.
And where is this plateau coming from? What have I changed? And it's probably, I mean, if we're talking about mental emotional plateaus in this situation, what is that feeling that you get when you have to say no to patio drinks, or you have to say no?
Yeah, but you don't. This is the part that I just can't stand. In this day and age, you can basically go anywhere and order something healthy. I've driven across America into the smallest towns possible. I've ate at the weirdest places. You can always find something. You order specifically. If you like having drinks once a week, have drinks as your treat. Just pick low sugar, simple options. Work out that day, eat a salad for lunch. There's very simple things to do. Being social is supposed to be about being social.
That's true. We often make it about food and drinks.
Right, and it's not. It's about the social interaction. Those are just supposed to be the side. And it's just you have to let it go. If you want to get to a certain place, you can't have nachos and margaritas every week, or you're never going to get there. It's like, pounding your fist and saying, I want to make more money, but I don't want to work.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not the way life happens. So, you either just let it go and stop endless, just cycle of suffering that makes no sense. And move on.
Yeah.
You're smarter than that. You're more powerful than that. There are always solutions. Always.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree.
Plus, you'll be less hungover.
I've got one on my list here.
Sure.
Setting personal limits.
Yeah.
I mean, oftentimes someone will get to a place where maybe they lost 5 or 10 pounds and they feel like they maybe have 15 to go, but it doesn't feel possible.
Because they've never done it before.
Exactly. And a healthy weight, I have to say this flat out, a healthy weight is possible no matter what.
Yes.
It really is, even if you've never done it before.
100%. And, I have a real fascination in my own life with doing things, creating things that have never happened in my life before, or in my lineage, or in my social circle. We both really get excited about
it's
that.
Motivating.
It's fun. So, again, we're not like these special elite people on top of a mountain that found the secret code. We work really hard and we make these things happen. And you can do it too.
Yeah, you have to get creative. I mean, this is the whole point of these two conversations. If you're seeing any of these physical plateau blocks or these mental emotional plateau blocks, if you see any of these guys, then you get creative about it.
I think moreover creative is you work with someone and you be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because as an outside perspective, I can look through your day, your week, and I can help you shave off what needs to be shaved or up what needs to be up. And it's the easiest, fastest way. But if you're in the ego mode, you're going to lie and minimize because you don't want to look at what really needs to change.
It's pointless. Don't go at it alone. It's pointless.
Also, don't trick yourself. It's a waste of time. The only person that's losing is not the person you work with. It doesn't matter. No. At the end of the day for them. The only person that's being actually held back is you. And why would you do that to yourself for one more day? It's all good. We've all done it. We've all tricked ourselves into staying small. It's just you got to remember that you were here to be more. Mm-hmm. You were here to be happy. You were here to be optimal. You're here to go to bed at night and not feel like there's something you didn't take care of, or you're not optimizing something. That running anxiety, most of the time running anxiety is really just because deep down that you're tricking yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not optimizing certain areas of your life, that you're avoiding doing what should be done. That's all it is.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, avoidance is, you see that constantly.
So you just face it head on.
Yeah.
Even if at first it's a little painful because embarrassment comes up. But like I've talked about before, and you should definitely listen to it, embarrassment can be a wonderful tool.
It can be.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's been helpful for me as well.
I use it.
I think it's great. But you have to be open to that. I mean, there's a whole lot of ego shedding that for a lot of people needs to happen.
For sure, and sometimes you gotta just, like when you have to rip a Band-Aid off.
Yeah, you don't make it so serious.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
No, you just do it.
The next one is stress. There's things going on at work. You don't get it. I had to eat this whole cake. Learning different avenues of dealing with stress, like going for a walk, taking a bath, doing things that putting on, like at the end of the day, having a bath and putting on some sort of pajamas that feel luxurious, lighting candles in your own home, something that has nothing to do, stop, treating yourself to food to deal with stress. And avoiding exercise to deal with stress is literally like the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Exercise is unbelievable for stress.
Oh, I completely agree. Well, everything we've talked about so far today sort of brings us to these two major causes of mental emotional plateaus. Number one, stress. Lack of patience. Fear of not being able to fit in socially. Can't avoid things at work because of, what people will feel about you. These are all stress. And the other side of the coin is depression or low mood. Lack of motivation. Difficulty in personal lives with communication, lack of ability to surrender to things. These are the two kind of categories. But stress eventually leads to emotional eating for a lot of people, leads to lack of sleep. All these things block weight loss.
So the best thing you can do is just do what you can do.
That's right.
So life is really stressful, but what I can do is I can eat healthy. I can do these little things that can make me feel better momentarily, and I can work out every single day. And that will chip away at my stress and build a foundation of peace. I would add on there meditation, journaling, anything you can do.
These are all coping mechanisms. And they're applicable to
They're not only coping, they're leverage. They lift you into a different zone.
Yeah, I guess it shouldn't
They're not coping.
It shouldn't really have a negative connotation. It's more of like...
It's not surviving. It is thriving.
That's right.
It takes you into a different zone. And if you've been going through surviving for a really long time, you think that's how life is. And it isn't.
No, if you just look at it like you're getting ahead of the situation.
Then you're just really feeding more the ego. Like getting ahead. That shouldn't be...
No, but getting ahead of... Instead of looking at patching up holes.
Oh, no.
You're looking at...
Well, I look at it as I get out in front of myself and I pull myself along until I can catch up to my highest self.
That's right.
I always look at things like
that. It's
a
mindset thing.
I say, oh, what's the highest good for Amy? Amy can't handle this right now. I'm going to jump ahead of Amy even though she doesn't feel like doing this. And I'm going to pull Amy along until she catches up to where I am. And I do that all the time. And it works. Yeah. Especially with eating, like I visualize the end result, like, oh, I could eat this jar of ice cream right now, but let me just think how I'm going to feel. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to feel great. Then I'm going to go into self-loathing. Then I'm going to have a terrible sleep. Then I'll probably wake up tomorrow with pimples. Next month, I'll probably have really bad PMS. Yeah, I think I'm just going to avoid all that and make a better choice for myself. It's really simple. And there's no negative emotions attached to that. It's that light. It's that I keep it airy. There's no damning myself. It's not, oh, you're so bad for craving this thing that you don't even believe in. No. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's all good. You're human. This is just like a little test and you just won. Like, I think I win every time I make a great choice.
In that moment. Gosh, you're just winning all day long.
Right? So the last one that I always find is the big trap is lack of results. So people will say, I've been working my butt off for 2 weeks straight. I haven't had a treat. I said no to patio drinks with the girls. I said no to cake on so-and-so's birthday. Why aren't I getting to where I want to be? Well, our bodies are smarter than us. So, we can go through the whole thing. I can go through your exercise routine. I can go through your diet. And if those are perfectly on point, then we look at other things. Could be a lack of sleep. Could be a lack of downtime. It could be that your scale just isn't showing what your physical results are. And that's why I do photos every 2 weeks with my clients. Because, I've had lots of people that the scale does not dictate what is actually physically going on. And then you look at these photos and go, oh, the results are happening. I haven't, maybe you need more sleep. Maybe you need some recovery time. Maybe it's just a time where you have to work your butt off for 3 weeks. And then you see huge results. Like, it's like planting a seed, watering it, and then 3 days later going, well, I don't see a sprout. I'm going to dig it up and look. Yeah. You got to stop doing that. You have to have a surrender to however long this process takes. I'm going to do my best work with someone, look at this, is there something I should change? No, I'm on the right path. Okay, I'm just going to keep on committing. I'm going to keep on committing. And I'm going to have faith and know that the results, no matter what, are going to come at the perfect time and space. End of story. And that's how you deal with that.
That's how you deal with it. No, I mean, it's exactly true.
Yeah.
It's exactly true. And along the way, you start to feel better and better because you're doing all the things that are required of a healthy lifestyle long term. And you're taking it slow. So when you hit a plateau, you have to surrender.
But there's no such thing as a plateau. It's just that things are happening that are not on the surface level that are measurable at this moment for you.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Right.
Maybe not. All these people with all these measuring devices. It drives me crazy. I mean, I use this scale as a tool, but if the tool isn't working, we use another tool. We use photos. We use measurements. And then there's nothing wrong or evil about a scale. There's nothing wrong or evil about measurements. They're all there to help us. It's whatever crap we put on those tools is the problem, not the tools themselves.
It's true.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't weigh yourself every morning.
Oh, my gosh.
Can't do measurements every afternoon.
Can you imagine?
The body doesn't work like that, and like Amy said, I mean, you're better at terminology than me. For you, there's no such thing as a plateau. This word does not exist. These are just inherent body mechanisms, whether they're physical or emotional or mental, telling us that we need to stick with this, or we need to consult.
Yeah, or shift. Just shift.
Yeah.
It's not traumatic changes. It's not beating yourself up. It's just altering a little thing. Like, it's so simple, and we make it such a dramatic, noise-filled, self-abusive thing, and none of that is real.
And I think on the mental-emotional side of things, I think the key point here is setting yourself up for success.
Totally.
Setting yourself up so you can create your own personal motivation, so that you can avoid the downfalls that maybe come with stress or depression, or with low mood. So you can avoid them easily.
Definitely.
Don't keep treats in your home. Do something to self-motivate every morning. Have not necessarily coping mechanisms, but mechanisms to get out front of stress.
Mm-hmm.
These things are all important, and they should just be a part of your daily life.
Yes.
And that's it. That's Healthy Rebel Radio for today. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.
See you.
Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamieHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Lane has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamieHealth.com for more information.
Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamieHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at DamieHealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow.